the last section of personal finance, we're going to look at personal loans, lines of credits, and overdrafts. So there's times when you might have to borrow money from an actual lending institution. So before we were talking about credit cards and store promotions, which were you're still borrowing money, especially with a credit card, from some sort of lending institution in a sense, but it's a different type of thing. And these are more you go in and you borrow money for a large purchase, such as a house or a car. So a loan is a fixed amount of money that you borrow all at once. So you go in there, you get a loan, say for $10,000, you walk out of the bank with $10,000, probably just in your bank account, not in your hand, but you get all that money at one time. The interest is calculated from the date you receive the money until the final date of the loan. So when you take out the loan, you'll sign some sort of agreement how much you're going to pay for a certain length of time. This is called the amortization period. So this is the length of time that you are borrowing the money for. So you have you've made a plan with the bank, and you say maybe in 5 years I'm going to pay this back. Your amortization is 5 years, and over the course of those 5 years you'll make payments. A line of credit is a little different. You borrow money as it's needed, so it's up to a pre-approved amount. So you might have a line of credit of, say, $1,000, and you need some money, so you go in and you take out, maybe you only need $300. You take out $300 on your line of credit. You're only going to be charged interest on the amount of money you're used. So if you take out $300, they charge you interest on $300. If you take out another $600, now they're charging you interest on $900. If you pay that back, they're not charging you interest at all. So this is, you just take it out as you needed. In a sense, that way it's a little bit like a credit card, except for you're not using it specifically for purchases. You actually have to go and take this money out. Your bank may also offer overdraft protection. So this is just on a particular account, and that means that, say you have $100 sitting in your account, and you suddenly have car repairs that are $120. You need an extra $20. If you've got overdraft protection, you can take out that extra $20. Even though it's not technically there. There's usually a fee and some interest attached to this as well. And then some places also offer emergency loans, often called payday loans. You probably heard some advertising on that. Not a good idea typically. They have very high rates of interest, like higher than credit cards. So you want to avoid payday loans if at all possible. They're just there to take your money. That's it. So if you don't make your loan payments as agreed, you're said to default, and legal action can be taken against you. So if you default on your loan, or you're not making payments, they can reclaim what is rightfully theirs. So for example, if you got a car loan, they can reclaim that car. The car is now theirs. They don't have to do anything. They can take further legal action if they prefer. A lot of times they'll just take what you have. They'll probably sell it off, and then you still have to pay back whatever you owed them on it, minus what they got for it. It just depends on the situation. So let's look at example 1. Richard's car insurance, $1,400, is due in 2 days. He doesn't have the cash on hand, so he quickly runs to the payday loan store for a loan. However, he now has to give them $1,635.20 within 14 days. So what's the annual rate of interest for the loan? First, we need to figure out what the interest is. So the interest is $1,635.20. He only got $1,400 for that, so he's paying them $235.20 to borrow that money for 2 weeks. Okay. Now we saw before that the rate of interest was the interest divided by the principal times the term. So the interest we figured out, it's $235.20. The principal is how much he actually got, so the $1,400 times the term. Well, he's only borrowing it for 14 days, but remember the term is always considered in terms of a year, so 14 days out of 365 possible days in the year. So let's put that into our calculator. So we got $235.20 divided by, remember if you're doing this all in once, open bracket, 1,400 times 14 divided by 365, close bracket, equals 4.38. Remember, this is not percent, okay? This rate is as a decimal, so we have to multiply this by 100, or 438%. That is your annual interest rate for this loan. And you can see now, well, why I say not a good idea if you can avoid them at all possible. What is the daily interest rate for the loan? Well, there's 365 days in a year. 438% divided by 365. So 438 divided by 365. You're getting charged 1.2% every day on what he's borrowing for to pay off the insurance on his car.